Hey, what's up guys? Luke here, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's your first time ever joining in. So thanks for tuning in here. Today's gonna be a great video, not only because we're in the woods and driving the truck, which frankly is always fun, but we're going to be doing a walk around of my 2024 Tacoma 6-foot bed. But more specifically, we're gonna be doing a walk around tour of the Dirtbox Overland canopy camper in the back. I've had it for about a year now. I've spent about 30-ish plus nights in it, including two one-week-long trips. So this is not going to be a technical overview of extrusions and corners and braces and different things. I will include some videos below of some that I've watched, and maybe could help you if you want to nerd out a little bit. But this is going to be a practical review of my experience, not only with the camper itself, which is great, but also the company. And stay tuned towards the end, because I am going to talk a little bit about my experience with the company, which, to be honest, was not great. So yeah, stick around for the end. And all that being said, again, it's going to be a great overview of the tent itself and the camper itself. I do actually love it. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, like it, share it, and of course, subscribe. Hey, what's up everybody? So like I said, we're going to be doing a walk around of the 2024 Tacoma 6-foot bed with the Dirtbox Overland canopy camper on the back. Let's get started. Today, we're going to be going over the canopy camper. I'm going to start from the outside and we're going to work our way in, starting with the rooftop tent up top, of course. So I'm going to show you kind of my process of getting this set up. You can see that for one of the main reasons why I purchased this canopy camper was for the easeability. I mean, I wanted to have a box or two in my garage with my camping gear, and on, a day's notice, be able to plan a camping trip and just get out in nature and enjoy it. Don't worry about tents and poles and if it's raining, all these different things. The reason that I bought this was so that I could go and enjoy the outdoors. But for me, logistically, this is exactly what I wanted, and I love it. So let's pop open this tent and check it out. Okay, and just like that, you can see it's already popped up, ready to go. There is a flap here, and I'll show you exactly what that's for. And I have some poles inside the camper that you can use to pop this up. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I was gonna show you what this little flap does, but apparently one of the poles that I have is stuck. So in the purpose of time, I'm just gonna go ahead and just tell you. So pretty much this flap, there's two poles on each side that brings this up, acts as a rain guard. And it is actually quite nice, because if it is a rainy day, you want to open up the canvas and have the window exposed and get some airflow into the camper. This is a really good way to have that out. And plus it actually looks kind of cool too when it's all fully flexed out. But again, there's this waterproof lining here. There's actually a zipper right here. You can take this off. I would say about 90% of the time I don't use it. So the poles, and that's why I didn't know it didn't work, is because I just don't use it that often. But the one or two times that I did use it, I really did enjoy it. Okay. So the second thing I want to show on the Dirtbox canopy camper here is this guy right here. Right here, there is it's actually on a hydraulic system, which is pretty cool, that kicks it out. And basically what I'm about to show you is where I take my showers. So There's a latch here, latch there. You open this up, drop down the shower, and here you go. You have a fully functional shower or changing room or bathroom. And I can tell you from personal experience, when I did get this, I thought I'd never really use it besides on, the whatever occasions. And so far it's come in pretty handy. If you're in public, at a parking lot, at a beach, you can change in here. It's very useful. Lily and I spent 3 days in Yosemite. We took our showers in here. We changed in here. It was awesome. Alrighty, so like I said, you can see that it deploys from the side here, and it's got 2 different zippers, but I'll just show you really quick. So we have it opened up. You come in here and it's pretty cool. There's actually stuff for whatever, your clothes or shampoo, conditioner. There's stuff on both sides actually. You can tell there's some airways too, so if you do use this for a shower, it actually can dry out, which is nice. There's even a hole for something. I actually didn't figure this out yet, so if anyone knows, leave a comment below and tell me. But basically what we did is we had a little board on the bottom, and then up here I just kind of put in my portable shower, my sprayer, and that's what I used for my shower for a few days. So there you have it. Pretty cool. We really do enjoy it. And I do believe it's worth buying, actually. So I do recommend it. All right, so this is really starting to come to life. We got the tent open. We have the shower, bathroom, changing area, whatever open. And now the thing that a lot of people rave about is the 270 awning, which is right here. And some of the key features that are really important about this is, first of all, it's very sturdy. So when you put it out, you don't actually have to do any securing poles. It can withstand quite a bit of wind and rain without that, but I'll show you what that looks like when it's deployed. The other thing that I really enjoy about this is the fact that the bag itself is larger than the canopy or the awning. Have you ever had that where you bought something and the only time it fits in the bag is the first time that you ever took it out of the bag, and then you can never get it back in exactly the way it was supposed to? What's cool about this is they left a lot of room, so even if you don't get it perfect, you're maybe in a rush leaving camp, it's a lot easier for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and show you exactly what it looks like. Okay, so first of all, there are 3 straps that secure this in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. 1, 2, and 3. Once it falls out, and you get it out of here, it's pretty much just one thing left to do, which is grab the strap here and set it up in seconds. Okay, just like that, you can see that I did that in about 10 seconds or so, and you have 270 degrees of protection from the elements. What I'm going to show you next is some of the features that the 270 awning offers. All right, so I just wanted to show you quick, right here in every corner there are pulls that all you have to do is slide it like that and bring it down. You turn it to loosen it, it drops down, you lift up, turn it to tighten, and in the middle there's actually a little pole here that you lift up that allows the rain to fall down. I wanted to show this really quickly. Underneath there's actually a light bar on all 3 corners, and there's a power source right here that you plug in to the power box inside. But you can see, I mean, now that we're underneath here, there's tons of shade. It's roomy. Dirtbox even actually has like a canopy or like some sort of netting that you can put on the outside of this. You can tell all along the outside there's Velcro, so you can actually add in like more living space And they even sell like this like little fireplace thing that you can add to it. So it's kind of neat. If you're winter camping or it's super buggy, I guess that would be super cool to have. But as you can tell, oh, also right here, there is a storage bag for whatever you need. But really I just put the cables for the lights in there, and that's really about it. But so far we have the tent up, we have the bathroom, shower, changing area, and now we have the 270 awning. So far the truck's looking pretty awesome, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I really do enjoy this feature. When I bought the Dirtbox Overland Canopy Camper, the 270 awning was one of the things that I knew I needed right away. So there you go. As you can tell, I put the 270 awning away because it was doing its job too well and pretty much took all my light away. The next feature that I wanted to talk about are the doors. There's two on each side. As you can tell, there are latches here. You have to open it up and turn it. One feature on this that was super important to me was the fact that you could lock and unlock these doors. Specifically lock the doors, just in case you're in a city or whatever. You just don't want people being able to go into your box, because the reason that you have it is to keep things safe. Another key feature on here, you can see that there's L tracks. I bought some of these clips on the outside for either tie downs, or you can like hang a trash bag on here. I can link that stuff in Amazon. You know, it's just a few bucks. But the L tracks on the outside, you can mount different accessories like max tracks or gas cans or whatever. You can get pretty creative with it, which is pretty cool. But I'm gonna open this up and basically go into what's going on inside. So I have the door opened up. One thing that's really cool, and I didn't really mention at the beginning, but the reason they call this a dirt box is it's supposed to keep dirt out and water out and pretty much keep everything on the inside safe exactly the way you want it. And the reason or the way they do that is actually having these dual walls. But you can tell there's just a huge gap that all the dust and water would have to get through, and a seal here to even get inside. And so the dirt box is actually supposed to keep everything out. But as you can see on this door, we've got some pretty heavy duty latches. I actually have this, and it's supposed to protect everything that's inside the Molle box here, protected, which is pretty cool. You can tell on top, there's even some more L tracks for Molle panels. And here I just have my spices and some kitchen stuff, because really, I don't know what most people use their Molle boxes for, but for me, I use it as a kitchen, and that's what I like doing it most. I have my coffee set up and my cooker here, the jet boil. I have a fire extinguisher and bear spray, and of course cribbage. Don't forget cribbage anywhere. And just a few other accessories, but the Molle box is super cool because there's a lot of things to it. But yeah, pretty sweet. Opens up and stays up pretty high. One other thing that's cool about pretty much everything on the Dirtbox Canopy Camper is that there is internal lighting built in already that comes with it stock. So there's one on each side. You can click it and dim it. So if you remember, there was lighting on the awning, there's lighting on the inside. There's actually lighting inside the tent above. All right, side number two. As you can see on the other side, it was the Molle box, my kitchen area. On this side, you can see I have the mounted max tracks, which this is pretty heavy for the struts that are on this door. So eventually I might have to replace those. But honestly, I don't open up this door that often, and I guess maybe you'll see why here in a second. But pretty much on this side, all I have is one Molle panel here and an axe or a shovel at any given point. So if I ever need to use that, then obviously I open up this door. But for the most part, 90% of the time, it's closed. So anyways, this door, again, I really enjoy it just because of the fact that it is a full pass-through, and it keeps out all the dust and rain out of here to protect everything inside. So here we are. Like I said, we are going to work outside in, and we're about to go inside and show you exactly what I have going on in the back of the bed here. We talked about the tent, we talked about the shower, we talked about the awning, we talked about just about everything, the doors and how cool they are. One thing I wanted to show you, a feature on the back here that I really enjoy, is just this single handle to lift it up and open this door. Before, on the version 1 that I had, you actually had a handle on one side, two side, and then it would open up. Here it's super simple, and of course you can see you can lock it as well. But I wanted to show you this too. The latch is super heavy duty, so you can actually fit more in up top, which on the version 1, I didn't do a video of that when I had it. I wish I would have, but it was much smaller, and these are super cool. And really quickly, I just want to talk about this back window. So you can see it's blacked out. You can see my reflection, it's great. I added some vinyl, some black sticker vinyl from Amazon. It was like 20 bucks for this little sheet, and I just spread it across. I actually screwed up the first time I did it, and then the second time I did it, it worked just fine. But basically I just added that for some more privacy, and also I think it just looks better. Personally, I didn't want the window, but I got it, and I'll explain why that happened in the end of the video. But here, let's open this up and show you what's going on inside. So drawer number 1, you can see that I have the Iceco cooler refrigerator here, and then on the back side I have my Anchor power bank just to power this. But this is pretty cool. One thing I wanted to talk about quick is kind of what I decided to do with the back of my truck. It is somewhat functional as a truck, but also kind of not, because I have these 2 slides in. I mean, most of the time I'm using this truck for camping and not actual truck stuff. And when it comes to that, I kind of just deal with it. But I have 1 slide on this side, which is generally always going to be the cooler and whatever else I have behind it. And then this is probably my favorite slide because it's the most versatile, and I'll show you why. So slide number 2, I have my mountain bike. I'm gonna do a separate video you'll see soon on the removable bike rack that I have, and right here. And I'll show you everything and how I built, not really how I built it, but just what it is more specifically. But what's cool about this slide is I can put 2 bikes on here, full-size bikes. And as you can see, I have it so the handlebars are tilted sideways, and I can slide it in and out with other stuff on the other slide. And this is good for us because really, if we're going anywhere, even if we're driving and it's raining or it's dusty, it doesn't get on the bikes. If we're in a city, you know, people don't really know, it's concealed, it's safe. I like this. This was one of the main reasons that I did it this way. And just like that, both slides are in. Now, let's check out where the magic happens. Okay, so let's check it out. So pretty much in a lot of the dirt boxes, actually I guess this is good to show in here too. So pretty much in the back of the truck, you can see it's not livable space. It's a space for utility. In the back, I have a bag that was provided by Dirtbox Overland that basically just has sunscreen, mosquito repellent, and an axe, I think, or a hatchet. You can see here I have the Hest pillows just hanging. I like that. You can see the back of the Molle box. There's even another Molle panel on the back of there that you can do more with. But what I wanted to show you was actually the bed. So as you can see, there is 1 trapdoor here, and then above us is where the bed is. So let me pop up and show you what this looks like quick. Okay, so I opened up the windows on each side just so that you could have a little bit better of a view. But as you can tell, I have a Hess mattress in here. I'll link to which one it is. I think it's the dually long, and it absolutely fits perfect in here. Dirtbox does give you padding or bedding that does come with it, stock, and it's great for maybe like a month. or like 5 or 6 different times you're sleeping on it. But honestly, for us, it just over time started to wear down, and it felt like you were sleeping on the floor. So the Hest mattress is something that we found. We tried, what was it? We tried the X-Ped. We tried 2 different X-Peds. Some of the reasons we didn't go with it, it was comfortable, but it didn't fit perfectly. So we had to air it down every time and fold it weirdly just to make sure that it did fit in here. The Hest lives up here. So it comes up, stays here, never leaves. It fits perfectly, and we love it. It's a little expensive, but definitely worth the investment. It literally feels like you're sleeping at home. So yeah, we do love this. As you can tell, inside the tent here, there is a light bar up top. There is this really cool quilting as well. This was another reason why I bought this camper, mainly because it just looks nice. I mean, everything about it really does scream quality, I think, really. The canvas is nice. We've never had any issues with rain or dust or anything else. This is really high grade material. There's pockets on both sides for phones. Over here, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it, but there's even, this thing comes out, and there's even like this little, let me see, little pocket where you can put keys or whatever. There's also charging ports. There's a power button. Oh, and over here, you can see I left my socks in here. So yeah, you can put socks or shirts or whatever you need up here whenever you're doing it, whenever you're sitting up here. And let me show you kind of what it looks like from this perspective too. So this trap door, when you're sleeping, can close, and you have all this space. You do have to go in here and close this latch right there. But you have a little trap door here, another trap door, and so you can reach down and turn off the power or do whatever you need to do. And then again, there's a window on this side too. But yeah, this is pretty much it up here. It's super comfortable. You know, from my experience, I am 5'9", weigh about, I guess weight doesn't really matter, but 190 pounds, and my feet don't touch the end. We sleep with our heads this way, and then our feet down there, and my feet don't touch the corners. So for someone who's over 6 feet, maybe you have a little issues, but you know, you could probably get around it by moving this mattress further this way, or I don't know, maybe putting your head on that side and having your feet hang over here. So if you're a little bit taller, then this is maybe something you have to work with. Hey, what's up guys? I'm actually back taking footage. I didn't finish up the shots that I wanted to, so I'm back, and there's a few things I missed and wanted to cover. So the first thing being the bed platform inside the camper. This is actually, ironically, the fact that I missed it, this is the reason why I wanted this camper. So let's go in, and I want to show you this feature, and you tell me below what you think about it. As you can see, I'm back in here. The bike's gone. The cooler is gone. I have some stretchy bands here. Hest pillows are still here. My wetsuit's here. So still kind of a functional space, but you can see what it looks like empty. But one thing that I didn't show is you can see the platform right here. You can even see that there's like a little strap here, which is kind of cool. But the main reason that I bought this camper, and at the time when I bought this of February of, well, actually bought the original model, February of 2024, no other companies were doing this. And let me show you what this is. So this platform right here, you can actually push up on it, and it'll actually go all the way up on gas struts. And what does this do for you? Well, pretty much allows you to have a ton of extra space. So again, oh, and a little shelf here, which is kind of cool. But yeah, let's just say you're in a place and there's not a lot of good, I don't know, conditions. It's raining, it's windy. You can pop this up and you can kind of hang out in here. So for me, it was a cool feature just because I wanted one platform. But to be honest, I don't use it too often, only because, again, the back of my truck is not super livable. It's more functional for things inside, like my bikes and coolers and other camping supplies. But this was pretty much the main reason I enjoyed this, just because you could pop it up and have that option to have a lot of extra room. You can see there's some room here, there's some room up there. You could even bring this down and you could work in here. There's like a little potential work tray. You could open this up and have some cool views. So yeah, just another feature that I thought made this a really nice camper is the fact that this goes all the way up. One thing I saw that other people did too is you can even drill holes through here and use riv nuts and use that as another attachment point for a ladder or whatever else. So again, just a cool feature. I can't believe I missed it because again, it was like one of the main reasons I bought it, but I wanted to make sure that I showcase that. All right, so it seems I lost my train of thought, but I wanted to show you this really quick. So the way that we get down, God, I already made it pretty dirty, but we just step out the ice cold cooler top. I mean, it's super durable, so that's all we do. It actually, this does come with a ladder, but we opted to just remove it because we didn't need it. So we just kind of crawl down, navigate our way out of the camper, because again, it's not like a living space, and then go enjoy the great outdoors. So let's go down and I'll talk to you outside. All right, hey, what's up guys? So I got everything put away on the truck. I collapsed the tent, everything else, and I wanted to just do a quick little walk around of the other aftermarket things that I put on my truck. So as you can see, I added BF Goodrich KO3s. These are technically not 33s, they're like 22.8, but 33-inch tires, some Method wheels. On the side here, I used to have Predator steps, but what I found is they're super not functional and pretty much what you don't want. They look great, but what I ended up putting on here was the Cali raised rock sliders, and it's a bigger, heavier unit, but all in all, I like it so much more. I mean, I can step up on the top of the truck, as you can see here, and do things on the top if I need to. It's just more functional, and of course it's a lot more sturdy because the Predator steps, they're actually only attached to whatever the hell, like, it's not the frame, it's like the side door panel. It's if you actually did hit it with a rock, it would probably ruin your truck, but this is installed directly to the frame of the truck, which allows it to be a lot stronger. Obviously you need the mountains and the trees logo, so that's a must. Bought it on Amazon. You should too. It's great. We have some ditch lights. Those have been pretty helpful, especially if you're coming into a campsite at night. All right, the last thing is it's actually not on yet, but I did buy a CBI front, I think it's the covert front bumper, plus the, I think it's worn winch, plus fog lights on the front. And that's gonna be installed probably in about a month, and it's gonna look pretty sick. I'm excited. The reason I bought the winch is because, mostly for the winter, actually. I just got into a few scenarios up in the mountains here where basically it would have been very helpful to have a winch. Actually, if you look at my YouTube videos, you can see I got stuck, and if I had a winch, that probably could have helped me out. I do a lot of solo stuff, so it's good to be a little self-sufficient. But another thing is I had to help a buddy out get his van stuck out of the snow, and if we had a winch, we probably could have been out of there in 20 minutes, but instead it took an hour and a half. So anyways, I think it's just good to have the tools to be self-sufficient, and that's basically what it is. So we have the Cali raised rock sliders, we have the new tires and wheels. Pretty sweet. I love my truck, I really do. It's awesome and has really given me exactly what I wanted, which is easeability to the outdoors, and it's what I wanted, so it's great. All right, right, what's up everybody? Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you have made it this far, well, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and share the video if you like it, or even comment below. Tell me what you think about the camper. Tell me what you think about the truck, and just let me know your thoughts. I mean, I really would like to communicate with everybody and let them know further my experiences that I haven't shared in this video, and just talk about more about camping, overlanding, and all in all, just enjoying nature. All right, so obviously through the video I've talked about, stay tuned to the end of the video because you're gonna hear my opinions and thoughts and my experience on working with Dirtbox Overland, and not working with them directly, but working as in dealing with them as a client. And I don't wanna make this cringy or clickbait or anything weird, but I do wanna share my experience with Dirtbox because it wasn't great. And what I really hope to get out of this towards the end or at the end of this video is actually something positive out of this, because I'm definitely not a negative person. I'm not looking for anything out of creating this. I just want to be informative of my experience, especially for those who are looking to work with Dirtbox, and understand that when I did work with them, and this is kind of a disclaimer as well, but at the time they were and still are a brand new company, which comes with its own challenges. The fact that they don't have their systems in place, the fact that they're growing like a weed. I mean, at the time of when I purchased this camper, which was back in February of 2024, they basically didn't have enough inventory to sell. So they were ordering, shipping in new units and getting them built and sent out, and they were working at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So it's not an excuse for them to not do great business, but I am understanding in the fact that when you do work with a new company, there are some challenges, and sometimes you just need to understand that. So again, and I have my phone here just because I have some notes. I want to make sure that I hit them. But the point is, I did have a negative experience at the start of our relationship with Dirtbox, but hopefully again at the end of this it comes out more positive. So right off the bat, I was looking at different Canopy campers back in the end of 2023. I looked at 4-wheel camper, I looked at alu cab, which is like way out of my price range, obviously. I had the 2024 Tacoma already, so I was kind of trying to pick out what would fit best. I was also looking at Super Pacific, which was a great option, but I found Dirtbox Overland. And the main reason that I liked this over the other ones is just because it looks rugged. I mean, if you look at it, there's lots of fine lines. They've got like exposed bolts that makes it look kind of cool. They have their name engraved into the side of the camper, which I think looks really sick. You know, Super Pacific had a really sleek design, which looks awesome, but just not what I was looking for. Alu cab actually had more of what I was looking for with like the rugged terrain. You know, they have all the exposed aluminum, and it looks nice, extruded aluminum, and it looks really, really nice. And this was kind of the in-between, right? The price range fit perfectly. It was a newer company, and I think that's why I went with it too, because I knew I could probably get a quality product for a lesser price. But obviously you don't expect having some issues that come along with that. Hopefully not. But really quick, I purchased this February 22nd of 2024. On the website, they had a lead time of, I believe, 3.5 months. I actually didn't end up receiving this Dirtbox until August 1st, which basically was about 7 months, which really was irritating for a lot of different reasons. You know, first off, the fact that it is more than the lead time just sucks, right? You're excited about a camper, you drop a lot of money on it, and then it doesn't really come in the time that they advertised. It's a bummer. But the reason that it's a little bit more frustrating is because what happened in between that time, and more the lack of, which is a main issue that I had, which was communication. I believe, at the time of purchase, it took about 2 months before a sales rep actually reached out to me and started asking questions like, hey, confirming the make and model of your truck, what camper do you want? You know, which basically I let them know 2024 Tacoma. I want the V2, because at that time they were putting a lot of marketing material out on their version 2. And they were basically, they had their V1, which if you look at my other videos, you can see I have installed. And the V2 is really the one that we were seeing on YouTube, and Jay, he was the owner or co-owner of the company, talking about it, producing the marketing material for it, and doing a great job. So, I mean, he basically sold me on the camper, and that's why I wanted it. I purchased it February of 2024, and I received the camper, or rather it was shipped to me in August 1st of 2024. And so it's about 7 months. I had to pay $1,000 for shipping because I wasn't driving out to Colorado to get it installed. I had to pay $1,000 for installation at the shop that I chose here in Truckee, which is totally normal. So I was already about $2,000 in outside of the camper cost itself, which is quite a bit. But I dropped off my truck. I was super excited, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, but 3 days later I show back up, and what do I see? I see that the wrong box was shipped and now installed on my truck, which was a huge punch in the gut. You know, I over communicated. I tried to over communicate in email. I tried to make phone calls. I tried to do everything I could within that 7 months that it was shipped to me. And here we are finally getting the camper that you've been dreaming of, I've been dreaming of, and it was the wrong camper. Big bummer. But because I am who I am, I try to stay positive. I said, hey, that's fine. I know they're a new company. They're going to try and make this right. We obviously kept the camper shell on. I sent an email to Jay. I let them know, hey, the wrong box was installed. Actually, what was the good thing is it was installed on August 1st. Jay and I had a phone call conversation on August 6th and talked about pretty much the fact that, hey, that sucks that happened. Let's see what we can do to help out. And we had a good conversation. I followed up with email, and then silence. From August 6th, I didn't hear back until September 24th, which again is a big bummer, but it's like, okay, I have the camper, I might as well go enjoy it. And that's what I did. I went camping with it, went on countless trips. I definitely enjoyed it, and Jay had told me, like, use the crap out of it because it is what it is. So, you know, some of the issues with that is, or so far, is just the fact that, you know, the new company didn't have the systems, they didn't have the people in place to have the right conversations, which inevitably led to receiving the wrong product, which when you spend, which with the camper and the awning, which is what I purchased originally, I spent $13,500. And then I spent $1,000 on shipping, and then $1,000 on install. So I'm in the hole, or not in the hole, but I'm out $15,000 essentially, right? And when I inevitably had the conversation with Jay, and it was like, hey, what is going to happen? What are we going to do with this? You know, he tried to give me a fat discount and say, hey, we'll give you whatever amount back, and you can have the camper, and, you know, no skin off anyone's back. It's a win-win possibly. But again, the reason that I wanted to buy this is not for the V1 look or what it was, because I thought it looked nice, but it's not what I wanted. It's not what I had seen on YouTube and Jay marketing. And so I stuck to my guns, and I said, no, I don't want that. I want the V2. And this is kind of going into the problem number 2 of maybe being a small company is, you know, Jay basically talked the whole time about how they were going to lose money and how, you know, not taking ownership of this mistake, which really sucks. And he basically said, okay, if you want the version 2, you're going to have to come out to Colorado and get it installed. We don't trust anyone else to do it, so you're going to have to come to us, and we'll make sure it's right. And I was like, okay, well, you know, that's time off of work, that's money on gas, that's pretty much a week-long trip, right? It's 2,000 miles from Tahoe to Colorado. And the whole time we're having this conversation, he's talking about how he's going to lose money, which really sucks. So I just had a really bad taste in my mouth. And again, trying to stay positive, I wanted to see this through, because what am I going to do? Take legal action? I just, I wanted a camper shell that I enjoyed so that I could go out in nature and enjoy myself. And it was really unfortunate because I wanted to make a ton of content when I first got even the version 1. I wanted to make a lot of content, but I couldn't. I didn't feel great about speaking to it because the whole experience has been horrible up until this point. So what Jay and I decided was I was going to take a trip out to Colorado and get the new camper installed, which is great. All right, we're making progress. And also what he said is, hey, we can't give you or pay for, we can't pay for your gas. We can't pay for, this and that, hotel, whatever. We're not going to make too many accommodations for you, but what we can do is we can give you free products. And what they did end up giving me is they ended up giving me the Molle box on the inside, which I'm going to give some rough estimates. I might pop up the price on the screen, but I believe the Molle box is like $650. The shower awning, which is like a $650. They ended up giving me the thermal barrier or the thermal lining for the tent, which I believe is like $600 too. And I believe that was it, the 3 things. And then he said, maybe when we get in person, we'll talk about more. And I was like, okay, I am willing to go there and figure this out, which I'm sure in the comments, people will, let me know what you would have done. And I'm sure a lot of you would have said like, hey, big middle finger up to you guys. You're going to have to figure this out. But I wanted to still yet enjoy my Dirtbox and get the product that I purchased and, try to make the best out of it. I was like, cool, let's take a fun trip out to Colorado, go skiing and snowboarding and, go see the team, because I think that would be a really positive thing. And that's exactly what we did. So pretty much from my perspective, the biggest expense that I was calculating when calculating my loss was the $1,000 shipping fee, the $1,000 installation fee, and then obviously time of going out to Colorado, gas and hotels and whatever else, right? So lots of different expenses. Let's just say $1,000, $2,000, probably pretty close to $3,000 in expenses to make this trip out to Colorado. And with those 3 things, I think obviously they recouped maybe $2,000 of that. I was willing to do it, and again, that's exactly what we did. Lily and I went out to Colorado. We had a good time. Actually, what's interesting is the moment we drove up to the Dirtbox headquarters, there was a gentleman there that I haven't really been communicating with, and his name is Tao. And Tao is awesome. Basically, what I learned is that Tao was the brains behind the operation. Tao created this product. Jay was more of the business. These 2 teamed up, and I met the other co-owner, which is Tao. And Tao is super nice. Within the first 2 minutes, he looked at my camper and said, how the hell did you get this camper? This is not meant for a 2024 Tacoma at all. And he pointed out all the reasons why it doesn't fit, which basically confirmed all of the issues that I had, which included tons of leaking issues, just some creaking that I noticed, and maybe a few other small things. But within minutes, he noticed that it was off. And it kind of led me to believe, which was like, hey, you tell me how this got screwed up, right? Speaking back to my experience in the beginning, within the first 2 months, I feel like somebody should have got on a call with me, video chatted with me, even in the production line or when they were about to send it out. video call me and say, hey, this is your camper. Like, are you super excited? Because we're excited to send it to you and have you experience this, right? And that could have solved everything. And in that moment, I'm just like, okay, like clearly there were a lot of things wrong, but I'm happy that you're noticing that this is wrong. And at that point, Jay didn't show up that day at all for whatever reason. But Tao is super helpful. He walked around and I let him know. I said, hey, I had a conversation with Jay. I don't know if he talked to you, but he basically said I could have, you know, the 3 things free. And then we would work something else out for some, you know, another product. And Tao just looked at me and he said, let's walk around. You can, you know, whatever you want. We'll make it work. And so that was really refreshing coming from, you know, more of a better business perspective. I mean, right away, Tao was like, okay, this is a big mistake. I can see that. I'm looking at it. You drove 2,000 miles for me to look at this and I can see it and I want to make this right. And so, you know, we walked around and he was willing to pretty much give me whatever was at the shop. But in the end, we still just ended up with the shower awning, the Molle box, and the thermal barrier. And partly why is because I just didn't have room to take anything else. And so we kind of discussed potentially doing something in the future, maybe a credit on something else that might fit my truck and really what I'm looking to do on the inside. So that was really cool. Showing up there and seeing the fact that, hey, their business is actually growing. They have people in place who are working on things was super refreshing. So, you know, obviously my experience from the beginning was super sour and very negative and led me to not really enjoy what I had. You know, we still did enjoy it, but I didn't make any content about it. I didn't talk to really anybody about it. And really just kind of suffered through it, hoping that it would work itself out in the end. And like I said in the beginning of this disclaimer, there definitely is some positives that came out of this. And I hope this is what you really focus on. I do believe that Dirtbox has gotten better. They do have the systems in place. They're getting better people in place. They are growing, and now they're actually in a place where it seems like they're building a business and a great business. And now that I've had time to have the camper that fits my truck and is actually what I wanted, I've really thoroughly enjoyed this product. I do believe it was worth the money. I hope that we can continue to work together and whatever capacity that looks like. And I do want to talk more positively about Dirtbox and show more videos about it and be excited about it and have everybody else who's viewing these videos be excited about it with me. I wanted to thank Tao because he really did change my perspective on where the company is going and really flip my perspective, and that meeting him in person I think was totally worth it. So that being said, I wanted to end the video with this, and it's more of a recommendation. Although I had a bad experience in the beginning, I would 100% recommend this product for anyone who's looking for a Canopy camper just like mine. I've seen it on a lot of different trucks. It looks great. The quality is great. I think the company is going in a great direction. I can't say, you know, more positive things about what I'm experiencing now with it. And I hope it does continue to go that way. Again, I've only had this camper for maybe 5 months now, 4 months. So it's still new to me, but I'm not having any leaking issues. I'm not having any issues with random bolts or anything like that. It's everything's been positive. And so, again, I wanted to end this video on something positive, and that's exactly how I feel I landed here. And you know, it was negative, but my experience now is that I get to do exactly what I want, which is being outdoors. So again, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and of course subscribe, and comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, this is an open community forum, so I want to know what you would do in my scenario, and I want you to ask questions about the Dirtbox, and we can talk more about this. So anyways, that's it for today, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, peace.